Hello and welcome back to the series. EXP here, and today, well, I'm not quite sure actually. I'm starting off by just getting a few little jobs done, because like I said last week, things have slowly been taking a back seat. On here, I've got a lot of things that have been going on, and yeah, it's left us with 101 little jobs just not getting done. So I've done what I can to kind of get on top of that, get as many of them as I can. But for now, we're going to just relax a little bit, get a few fish for our cats, and I'm sure we'll find something to do this week. I always do. Just, you're not going to see this because it's quite boring, really, isn't it? Just watching me doing little jobs with absolutely nothing going on. Just me talking. I could start a Minecraft fishing ASMR channel. How do you feel about that? Give me something to read. How about Donghua Jinlon's food grade glycogen, the choice of many. Founded in 1979, we specialize in the R&D and manufacturing of food grade glycine. Considered a top-tier manufacturer in the industry and a long-term stable partner of many Fortune 500 companies. Certified by ISO 22000, ISO 901, ISO 14001, ISO 145001, BRC, QS, Kosher, Halal, and reach among other international certifications, striving tirelessly for a healthier humanity and a better life. Follow for more. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering, this was the worst idea I've probably ever had, and it didn't work. Well, I mean, it worked. It did what I needed to do, but the water stream didn't work. And so now I have this big building here for nothing. So I could have made my storage system for that a little bit nicer, which, to be fair, you haven't seen, have you? It's just an ugly box shoved in the corner. There's nothing special about it. But yeah, this did absolutely nothing. So we'll just send them on their way and plonk them back down with the rest, which I had to then end up manually just putting there anyway. So, all in all, complete and utter failure. But you live and you learn. Now, as for these, I'm probably going to have to tear them all out and just not have storage up here. Either that or add a second layer to this, so those are just normal ones, but then they go up two, but then it's getting a bit long for the sake of just one lot of items. So we're going to be having these all across here. I'll probably just the things that are up here aren't too important. They can just go into the multi-item sorter once I do finally sort them out. But if we head on over to the test world, whoop-hoo, we can see that the problem I'm having, even though I got these to work using a very similar system, the problem we end up having is with too many things going through the system. Whoops, I didn't mean to throw them. The torches like to burn out, and then the whole system just doesn't do what it's meant to do. Even if we slow it down a bit, it's still just too much for this system to handle, and it's just not worth it. See, and then it breaks the filter. And that happens on this one. It was even worse on the piston, the moving piston one with the redstone block. That was an even worse fail rate. So yeah, it's, as you can see, it's just not worth it. So we're going to tear the whole thing out and just have that small corridor and multi-item storage. So let's head back over. Woo-hoo! Which means today we are probably going to be looking into the multi-item sorter. Now, I remember coming across with one not so long ago that looked to be the perfect balance between not too bad to build and not being simple's the wrong word, but there are types where it's just they're too simple for my needs, but I do need multi-item sorting, so that's what we're going to work on today. First things first, let's tear all this out. I was hoping to have a more positive video this week with something a little bit more interesting, but unfortunately, thanks to eBay, my time has mostly been spent stressing and worrying about whether I'm going to get paid for my most recent sale. Now, a little bit of context. I know, generally speaking, this is my fault, and I can't blame eBay for how it's happened, but in my opinion, it is still a little bit shady. Basically, when I use eBay, I don't really think about where I'm using it. It's mostly on my phone, just on the app. And, you know, I've been able to buy things no problem. Haven't had to worry about it. But for the first time in a long time, I decided to sell one of my old GPUs. It was only a 1660, it wasn't that old, and I wasn't expecting to get a lot of money for it. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a massive amount. But it is enough to be a concern. It's not like it's 2-3 quid or whatever. The fact is, you know, I sold through them, and the issues started when eBay asked me to verify my bank account by sending me 2 random small payments, which is, you know, standard practice. It's just so they make sure they're sending it to the right place. So I've clicked go through the process, got the 2 payment amounts, told eBay what they are, and they're like, okay, cool, we're going to verify your account now. As soon as it verified, it was like, oh, actually, there's a bit of a problem here. Okay, just log out of the app, log back in. When I log back in, it's a completely different account. So I'm sitting here like, so where's my other account? So I've logged out of that, tried logging in via the different methods that apparently I've logged in before, which was, there's eBay, there's Facebook, there's email, there's 2 emails, and then my phone number, and all of them led me to 2 different profiles, which neither of them were this one. One of them was a very, very old eBay account, which I haven't used for, oh god, since I had a Windows phone. That's how long ago it was, which, you know, I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to close that account down once all this debacle has gone through. And so I log into the other one, and it just takes me back to the one that it logged me in last time, no matter what I do. So I've contacted eBay, and they've gone, okay, so this is an issue for security and accounts. Okay, that's fair enough. Like, this, from the outside, is looking a little bit dodgy. So they'll want to go through the proper channels, which I can't blame them for. Like, you know, it was silly on my behalf for not checking these things in the first place. But, like, I am me. I am the person I say I am. I've got my bank account. I've only got 1 phone number. I've only got 1, technically 2 emails that I use, and it's neither of them. But either way, I am who I say I am, and my bank account belongs to me. There shouldn't be an issue of finding out where I've been making transactions from. So the guy on the web chat thing said he can't help me, which fair enough, okay. Sent me to the proper channels. The proper channels being a phone number. Like, initially he gives me one to Australia, and I was like, from the UK? Is that okay? And then he gives me the UK one. I was like, okay, then I'll try this. Ring them, and it's just a roundabout way of going, check online, check online. There's absolutely no way of getting through to a person. It's just check online. Every single option is check online. So I go back online. It's like, hey, this is going online. It's like, all we can do is give you the number to try. Okay, try the Australian one, and I'll just get a modem noise like a fax machine. I don't know if anyone is old enough to know what that is, but yeah, it was a horrible noise, and it didn't get me anywhere. So now all I can do is sit and wait, and I'm either out £80. I'll either get £80 into my bank account, and that'll be the end of it. Hopefully that the person's happy with everything they received, and I don't need to worry about it, because I wouldn't be surprised if they try and contact me and I'm just not there, because that's going to be looking dodgy again. Either way, that's my rant for the day, and this has taken me 2-3 days worth of headspace, so I thought I'd just come on here and have a little vent while I tear this mistake down. Oh, this is definitely a couple of weeks worth of just mistakes, isn't it? Always look on the bright side. In the grand scheme of things, no one's hurt, no one's been scammed. It's just, I might be out a little bit of money, which come next month will be forgotten about. And yeah, it's annoying, but does that really matter? Like, it's my own fault in the end for not being more vigilant of where I'm logged in on. And it's again just another lesson in why online security is of the utmost importance, because with the way how quick instant apps are these days, you end to forgo things you know you should be doing for the sake of convenience, and we really shouldn't be doing that. If nothing else, this has been a reminder to not do that. Right, yeah, that's one row done. 1.5 to go. Divert the water, and then see if we've got time this week for another project. Okay, rant out the way, and now we are ready to move into part 2, which is in front of me. Or it's behind me? It's behind me now, so if I just... Whoop, there. So, this room is going to be for the multi-item sorting. I've rediverted this water stream round, so the overflow's down there, but what I'm going to do is have that go back over this way, and it will go through that system before finally plonking itself back under and into the overflow chests down that way. But it's still a bit of a mystery to me. Now, I found a very useful guide on it made by Alhedran, so I'll leave them down. I'll leave that video linked down in the description, and I'll put a little thing up there. I keep forgetting to mention that I'm putting them up there. And for some reason, I don't know if it's just for me, but it comes up with my face, well, my watermark on it when I put one of them. And I don't mean to try and take credibility for other people's videos. I just don't know why it's putting my face up there. So let me know down in the comments as well if my face appears on that for you. And I'll look into changing that, because it feels like I'm thieving a bit. Anyway, I'm going to watch the video. I'm probably going to time-lapse building this, and we'll see what time we're after as to what's going on. I'm a little bit close, aren't I? Yeah, anyway, waffling. I've done an awful lot of waffling. Let's crack on! Okay, I stopped the recording, and yeah, I've put the elevator in, but it turns out the final system has just got this kind of this kind of filter at the top. It's a system, it's a very good system, and if you want a quick one where you don't really need to think too much about what you're doing and just follow a tutorial, use that one. Like I said, it's linked earlier, but I am now going to link the one that I'm going to use across the top, which is also the same person's system. It is just, it's better for my needs. So, yeah, time-lapse time number 2. And there it is, one massive storage system. I say massive, like this when it comes to storage systems. When it comes to storage systems, this one is relatively small and quite simple. I know it doesn't look it, but I have a rough idea of what's going on. I can't really explain it, and yeah, like I said, I'll link the videos in the description, and I'll put them on the card thingies up in that top corner. But yeah, the way this works basically is ignore all the redstone and timings. This hopper here is locked with 21 items in it, and this one is a selection panel. So I've already filled these ones because these are going to be my redstone chests. So if I show you the examples, like I said, this one is locked with 21. And then this is the selector panel. So the item will come in, it'll be like, oh, I can actually take one of them. And then it'll open the signal long enough to drop through and into the designated chest. So the chest that this slice is attached to will come down into this row here. So all my redstone stuff will just filter into this. It will also filter into these. So yeah, those are for my general redstone items. These ones down here are much simpler. Like I said before, it's just you take one of these out, you put that there, and then all that black stained glass will then filter into that slot. This one, you're limited to a stack, so if you wanted more than a stack, you'd need to put more than one of that item, and then it would filter that as well. But that's how those ones work, which, on second thoughts, I may just extend that across, especially if this doesn't work, because I wanted to design it slightly differently. I have this pillar in the middle, which means I've extended this here. Now, as far as I can tell, the timings and things aren't affected. It will just push whatever's in here for one tick into there anyway, which will then just move it along once more. It shouldn't affect it. I don't think, like, if I'm going to get problems, it's going to be draining this filter one here of its items as well, and that may cause problems, which if it does, then I just tear it out and start again by taking this block out. Then, like I said, I can also put more of these bottom filter ones in, which may actually be more useful. I'm not sure. But anyway, the massive credit to Alhedron for the videos and the tutorials on them. As I said, I'll be linking them down below. Check out that channel because this is a very, very useful early to mid game multi-item sorter. Now, if you're getting into later game, this is probably going to become too big for your needs. Oh, I'm also missing a hopper. Yeah, this is probably going to become too big for your needs, and you're better off looking into probably the Jaimuni, or what was the other one called? There's Realmies as well. There's a few of them which they just massively go over my head, but if I wanted to follow a step-by-step tutorial, I'd probably have a bit more understanding. But this is the system I've gone with, which, like I said, I tried to say earlier, and I said it pretty badly, it's the perfect combination between easy to understand, easy to build, but not too so simple like this one, which is insanely simple, where it's just you're limited by the amount of stacks you can have, and so you have to micromanage your system rather than just letting things filter through. But yeah, I'm going to end the recording here, think about what I'm putting where. I might compost this to make it a little bit more lag efficient. I don't know. But for now, that's me done. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you all next week. For now, bye bye.